everybody. We're back to talk a little NFL
Football.
football. Man, we are already into week 11 this week.
Oh, boy.
Football is flying by. There's only 17 weeks, and then we jump into the wild card. But first of all, we have to recap
Week 10.
Week 10. So we'll do a little recap on Week 10, and then we'll jump into our predictions for Week 11. Right now, we sort of should know who's who by now. But this week proved that anything can happen in the NFL. We'll go ahead and jump into Thursday's game. We had the L.A. Chargers, which I still have a hard time saying. The L.A. Chargers at Oakland.
And the Raiders get a big win.
Pulled it out at the last second there, didn't they? Got that big win. The Raiders needed a big win. I think those two teams are almost the same team.
Yeah, Oakland's pretty much average in my book, but the Chargers have really underachieved.
They have underachieved big time this year, though.
Not only that, but Phillip Rivers went to the Jameis Winston kitchen this week.
Oh, a bunch of turnovers, huh? A bunch of turnovers. We'll go ahead and jump on into to our Sunday games. We had the surging Buffalo Bills
falling flat
in Cleveland. Yeah, Cleveland won 19-16.
It bugs me because
Cleveland needed that. What, they had lost like 4 in a row or something?
It bugs me whenever I see their potential there on that last drive and what they could have been.
Mm-hmm.
What they could have been if they had the right coach.
Yep.
And not Freddie Kitchens.
But it didn't happen. But Cleveland did. I mean, Cleveland squeaked out a 19-16 win. So, hey. We had KC. Now, this might have been the game of the week. This was a good game. Kansas City
going to Tennessee.
Went to Tennessee.
And laid an egg in the last second.
I don't know if they laid an egg. Their defense laid an egg. Their offense put up 32 points, but their defense gave up 35 points. So if you give up 35 and you only score 32.
The way they lost, though, is symbolic of Andy Reid.
Yeah. The missed field goal.
Well, it was actually just a it's a whiffed handoff.
Yeah.
It's like a whiffed hold, and then the kicker, it's like the placeholder had to throw it out of bounds.
Yeah.
And then that's an intentional grounding that puts the Titans up 10 yards up on the field.
Yep.
And the defense utterly choked.
A botched snap led to Tennessee having the ball with a minute left.
And just effortlessly
and
marching.
And then Tennessee, I think it was only 3 plays, wasn't it? In 3 plays, they got a touchdown.
And then the next play later, they get a 2-point conversion.
They got a 2-point conversion. So, bam, they're up by they were down 8. I mean, they were down 5. And now they're up 3. Just like, a minute. And then Kansas City got the ball. Bam, 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 drove it down. Let's kick a field goal and tie it, take it to overtime.
And the field goal got blocked.
And then Tennessee blocks the field goal. So, that was an epic game if you like scoring.
Oh, yeah, but Kansas City's
Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry.
He looked good in that one. He had some run yards in that one.
Kansas City has to be concerned about that defense, though.
Yeah, why doesn't Tennessee use Derrick Henry like that all the time, though?
They're just so darn inconsistent.
They are inconsistent. But anyways, it was a really good game. Tennessee needed that win badly. Kansas City needs to win
really badly
from here on out, yeah. We had another really good game that was stopped at the 1-yard line. Your poor Carolina Panthers went to Green Bay. Almost tied it.
1 yard.
1 yard. I think the bad weather came in. It was snowing. It might have made it a little bit harder to play that last drive than it should have.
Welcome to losing to Aaron Rodgers.
Hey, Green Bay was coming off a loss, and they were at home. For Carolina to do that good, I think Carolina is actually a really good team. I don't know how far they'll make it, but I think they'll make it into the playoffs. So we'll see. Speaking of teams that probably won't make it into the playoffs, my stupid Cowboys.
They derped.
They can't beat a team that has a winning record.
They can't beat a team that has a winning record in the NFL right
now.
No,
Minnesota went to Dallas and beat them 28-24.
If there's ever a time that Jason Garrett has been on that needs to be fired, and there's been many times,
now might be the time. They had a chance to win the game too. They were down at the 2-yard line and handed the ball off, lost 3-4 yards, incomplete pass, turned the ball over on 4th down.
Man.
Minnesota made it their point to stop Ezekiel Elliott. That was their one thing they did the entire game. They said, we're not going to let Ezekiel Elliott beat us.
And what did they do?
And what does Dallas do on
Two straight plays, they give the ball off.
No, I mean, that's all Minnesota's done the whole entire game. We're going to stop Ezekiel Elliott.
That's their game plan, and
they did it. And Dallas was like, oh, okay. I mean, why not do a quarterback sneak on that last one to get that first down and get the touchdown? What?
I just don't know, man. I just don't know.
I don't know either. But anyways, we'll go ahead and get off of my crying. I've already cried enough on that one. We had Detroit go to Chicago. Chicago won. But Detroit lost, so I mean that's typical.
Oh yeah, that's
typical. So
but
that's
it's
no
not
surprise.
easy. It's pretty easy to throw touchdowns on Detroit because the Lions.
Trubisky did throw a touchdown though. I mean, even if it's against the Lions, it's still a surprise.
Well, I'll be.
The first round draft pick, baby.
It's good to know that he has a pulse.
Yeah, this week. It may not be next week. We had Baltimore go to Cincinnati
And wipe the floor with them.
49-13.
Lamar Jackson looks like a cheat code against
Lamar
them.
Jackson, I think, didn't they bench him at the end of the third quarter?
It was so bad.
It was so bad they benched him in the third.
But
that was horrible.
Lamar Jackson had a perfect passer rating
Yeah,
against the Bengals.
yeah. That was just bad. That was ugly. I think that might have been just as much Baltimore as it, but Cincinnati's just horrible.
Cincinnati's 0-9. They're clearly going to tank in the draft.
And then we had the shocker of the week, the New Orleans Saints, Atlanta with one win.
Hold on.
No.
Where did that team come from?
Atlanta had one win and went to New Orleans and did not allow Drew Brees to have a touchdown. Drew Brees right here behind us. Just right.
He had a bad day on Sunday.
Zero touchdown passes.
That's
Zero touchdown runs.
very unusual.
Atlanta's defense looked like it was
The second coming of the 85 Bears.
Bears. It was.
It
I don't
was
know.
a
I don't know where
bizarro
that.
world.
It was bizarre world. I don't know where that came from. Like I said, normally by now you know what a team is.
I don't know what
I
this
don't
team
know.
is.
I don't know what that was. That was insane. We had the New York Giants go to the New York Jets, which is the same stadium. They share the same
The
stadium.
MetLife Bowl, as I like to call
The
it.
MetLife Bowl.
And the Jets.
Jets. The Jets won that one. It was actually a shootout too, 34-27.
The Giants' defense can't stop a nosebleed.
No,
They just cannot do anything to
No.
stop an opposing offense.
I guess Sam Darnold got over his ghost sightings and
Decided to go
Decided
all
to-
Ghostbusters on the Giants.
Went Ghostbusters, yeah. Let's see. We had Arizona at Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay won 30-20.
Jameis
7.
Winston did provide us some of his classic turnovers.
He did have some classic turnovers, but Arizona proved their youth.
And
And their old ex-head coach sent him home packing. I was,
he's got experience.
He's got experience. He knew the Arizona team there, yeah. We had Miami. Miami won again. 2 weeks in a row.
Miami won again.
Miami went to Indy. Jacoby Brissettless
Indy.
Indy.
Indianapolis looked like a bag of dog crap.
Yeah, and Miami treated them that way.
Man.
Took them out to the garbage. And
Jeez.
16-12. Man, that was an ugly game.
How do you stink that bad without your... I know.
I guess Jacoby Brissett is that team.
Dear heavens.
I don't know, man.
That was a mess.
That was ugly. And then speaking of a mess, how about the L.A. Rams? That's a dumpster fire in the making if I ever
That's a
seen one.
dumpster fire. I didn't expect that to be a dumpster fire.
The Rams went to Pittsburgh and lost 12.
They were awful on offense.
What happened to the Super Bowl team from last year?
It's missing. I can't see them.
I don't
Where
know.
are they?
I don't know.
Pittsburgh didn't allow them to score an offensive touchdown.
Now Pittsburgh's picked it up. Pittsburgh's won four in a row now. I think
Their
they've
defense
turned
looks
it around
like
a little bit.
looks like a brick wall.
Yeah. So, but still, the Rams are. This ain't the first time they've looked bad this year.
This ain't the first time, but I didn't recall them looking
That bad?
that bad.
Well,
Not
they
that
did.
bad in a few years, honestly.
Yeah. And then our last game, which was a superbly wonderful game. I don't really care for either team, but man, that was a game. We had Seattle
Putting a dent in the 49ers season.
We have 0 unbeaten teams now. But it took down to the last seconds of overtime to do it.
Russell Wilson.
There was missed field goals. How many missed field goals was there in overtime? I know there was at least 2.
The 49ers blew a chance to do it in overtime when they were in Seattle territory.
And I think everybody missed a field goal. But that was a real exciting game.
At least it wasn't a tie.
Oh, that would have been one. I'd like to have an unbeaten team with a tie.
Not
Horrible. But anyways, that is our recap of Week 10. We'll go ahead and jump into our predictions for Week 11, which starts off Thursday night with Pittsburgh
at
Cleveland. Now that's good. This has actually turned out to be a very good game. Pittsburgh, which we thought was dead in the water, has won 4 in a row. They're back in the hunt, going to Cleveland, which has come off a win now. This is a division game. It means a lot now.
It means a ton.
It means a ton now. So if Cleveland wants any chance whatsoever to make the playoffs, they got to win this game. If they lose this game, it's over.
Well, you never know with Freddie Kitchens being the head coach. I just don't trust him now as a head coach.
Pittsburgh started out 1-4, and now they're 5-4.
That just tells you how Mike Tomlin is as a head coach.
Cleveland is favored by 3, but they're at home, which means this is a pick'em.
This is a pick'em.
This is a pick'em game.
Based on how they have played recently and how they completely shut down the Rams, I'm going to pick me some Pittsburgh.
You're going to take a little Pittsburgh plus 3? Got 3 points to play with there, too. That's probably not a bad deal. And then on Sunday, we have my poor Cowboys going to Detroit.
I think even Jason Garrett will outcoach the Detroit Lions.
Probably will. I'm going to pick the Cowboys there, too. And we got Atlanta going to Carolina. Atlanta's not going to win 2 in a row. Carolina's going to win by 7+ points there.
Down to the Dirty Birds.
Yeah,
down to the Dirty Birds.
Yep. We got Jacksonville at Indianapolis. I don't know about that one.
That looks like the ultimate crapshoot game. It's basically a toss-up.
Yeah, I'm gonna probably take Indy. I think Brissett's supposed to be back. If Brissett's not back, I'm not taking him. If Brissett's back, I'm gonna take on a little Indy there. We got Buffalo going to Miami. Miami's not gonna win 3 in a row.
Absolutely not.
That's a 7-point game there. We got Denver at Minnesota. Well, I'm going to take Minnesota. They really are looking...
They're looking like a much different team than they were last year.
Adam Thielen's got a chance to be back. He's still injured, but I haven't checked to see if he's back yet or not. But if Adam Thielen's back, plus Diggs, plus Cooks, think about it. Which team in the NFC has as much talent on offense?
As Minnesota?
As Minnesota. With Thielen, Diggs, Cooks, I'm not going to say Cousins is a talent, but he's not horrible. He's not a bad quarterback.
He's just an average one.
He's just an average one with really good wide receivers and a good running back.
Anyone can look good with a good wide receiving core and a good running back.
If you had Cooks, I'm sorry, but Cooks can make any quarterback look good because you got to put 12 people to stop Cooks. So the quarterback ain't got near as much pressure on him as he would. So, but anyways, we'll take Minnesota on that. They'll beat the doors off that Denver car.
It's been overrun with all sorts of problems over the years.
Yeah, and it just gets worse and worse. We got New Orleans going to Tampa Bay. I think New Orleans
will bounce back.
Will bounce back, win by a touchdown there probably too. We got the Jets at Washington. You know how we got to go on this one. Jets, Jets. Love you, Big Al. We're going to go with the Jets on this one. Washington is it's a toilet bowl. We got Houston at Baltimore. Got to go Baltimore.
Well, the way
Baltimore is looking, game, though, ain't it? Though.
The way the
Jackson
Baltimore is
versus
looking,
Watson.
The way I just can't go against Baltimore now because of how they've rolled.
Especially
lately.
Baltimore at home.
Yeah, especially at home.
Yeah, so we'll definitely go with that. We got Arizona at San Francisco. San Francisco. They're not coming off of a loss at home. They're going
to be motivated.
And they're
going to eat some birds.
They're going to have 10+ points. Cincinnati at Oakland. I'm going to pick Oakland on that one pretty big,
Oakland's got the easiest schedule in the NFL going down the stretch.
Which they need.
Because
they're 5-4.
And probably looking like one of the most average teams.
Yeah, but they have played some good competition up to this point. Then we have an intriguing game because New England doesn't play tough road games, but they're going to Philadelphia this week, which might.
Well, that's going to be a rematch of the Super Bowl 52.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Philadelphia is not near as good a team though.
Which I
Philadelphia's
consider
struggling this year.
the last Super Bowl that was actually worth something.
One thing I will guarantee you is New England will not lose this game. They're not going to lose 2 in a row. It's just not going to happen.
And if they do, I'll be happy.
Yeah, I will gladly eat some crow on that one. But I just don't think it's going to happen. We got Chicago at the Rams.
Man, is that a Sunday night game?
Yeah.
We get Mitchell
8:20.
Trubisky against the underachieving Rams.
Yeah, I mean, who's going to suck the most? I don't think Chicago could look good 2 games in a row.
I think the Rams win.
I think the Rams win that one.
I
yeah.
mean, when you put the fact that Mitchell Trubisky has looked absolutely just
Pedestrian.
pedestrian, yeah.
Yes, he looks like they brought him off the
Street instead of the draft.
Yeah, exactly. And then we have our Monday night football game this week. We have the KC
The Chiefs.
at the Chargers. You know, the Chargers snuck up on them and started this little tumble, didn't they? The Chargers went into Kansas City and won, didn't they?
So
That's how it started this. Think a little revenge might be on KC here.
I'd say KC
Kansas
will win
City's
this game. They
KC
gotta
got
win, man.
They got too much talent. Their defense is horrible, but they got so much talent. They got to be able to do something here. I'm gonna take a little Kansas City on that one too. So that's it. That is NFL for
Put a
10
like.
and 11. Hit a like.
Send us a thought.
Yeah, a subscribe. Give us a comment of some kind. Tell us we're crazy. Hit the groovy baby button over here somewhere.
Sore on my face.
Other than that, we are done for NFL this week. Come back
See
and
you
see
next
us.
week.